Hello. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's special Thanksgiving Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha Ellenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project, and I am so glad that you took time out of your special day to do your speak out exercises. And thank you to all of the families that are practicing with us today. If you would like to be in our social media slideshow, we would love for you to take a picture of your family practicing with intent. Email the photo to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. And if your family does this, the first 5 people who submit a photo, we are going to mail you a Live with Intent surprise. So go ahead and take that photo if you're okay with being on social media, and then email it to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. Hopefully everybody has water. We need water when we are exercising our voices. I am sipping on warm water, but any water will do. Also, before we start speaking out, I would just want to make sure that all of our families know that our program is called Speak Out, but it doesn't mean to be loud or to yell. So as you do these exercises, I want you just to project your voice forward. Look across the room at a target. Maybe it's the computer, maybe you're practicing using the television, that's your target, and project your voice forward. Let's all take a sip of water and then we'll get started. The first speak out exercise is called a warm-up, and it's may, me, my, mo, moo. Go ahead and connect the syllables and speak out. Here we go. We'll do 5 of them. May, me, my, mo, moo. Don't trail off. Let your voice hit your target at the end. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. The more you exaggerate, the better. The muscles you use for speaking are the same muscles you use for swallowing. The muscles you use to articulate with are the same muscles you use to chew your food and to swallow. So really use a lot of intent. Be very deliberate. Let's do another one. May, me, my, mo, moo. Notice how I'm lifting my voice. Let's do one more. May, me, my, mo, moo. Very nice. We're done with the warm-up. Take a sip of water and do it with intent. People with Parkinson's have to use intent all the time. Movements that used to be automatic, like talking and swallowing and walking, getting out of a chair, those movements require dopamine. And people with Parkinson's don't have enough dopamine. By the time they have any symptoms of Parkinson's, they've already lost about 60 to 80% of their dopamine producing cells. But intentional movements, when we are deliberate and purposeful, they do not need as much dopamine. And that's why for people with Parkinson's, the word intent is the most important. So do everything with intent. Swallow with intent. We're going to move on to speak out exercise number 2, the ahs. Deliberately open your mouth wide and then project that ah up and forward. Here we go. Ah. We hold it for about about 10 seconds, but it's okay if it's shorter. The main thing is that you have a nice, clear voice, even if the ah is only 2 or 3 seconds. Let's do it again. Ah. Very nice. If the voice doesn't sound clear, try to project out a little bit more. Ready? Good. Let's do a shorter one. Make sure your mouth stays open and the sound should be ah. Ready? We're done with the ahs. Take a sip of water. Do it with intent, which means to really think about it. And later on, when you're enjoying your Thanksgiving dinner, I want you to swallow with intent. Pick up your glass with intent. And then later, when you go for a walk, walk with intent. Let's move on to speak out exercise number 3, the glides. I want you to project out a steady ah first, and then start gliding. Here we go. Ah. Stop. Ah. Everyone feels a little bit funny doing these at first, but they're so important. This exercise really helps swallowing, and it also helps people with Parkinson's to have a more colorful voice. In order to have expression in our voice, the vocal folds need to stretch and move, like they need to be flexible like a rubber band. And so as you are going up and down in pitch, your vocal folds are stretching in different ways. So do the best you can. Steady ah, then glide. Here we go. Ah. Ah. Good. Let's do it again. Ah. Ah. Very nice. We only have 2 more. I know it's challenging. Let's do it again. Ah. Ah. And our last one. Do your best. Here we go. Ah. Ah. Good. Go ahead and take a sip of water. Hopefully you've already signed into the chat. If not, go ahead where it says type in your nickname. Put just your first name and where you're from. The chat disappears at the end of the day. There's no password or login required. It's just for fun. But let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much effort, how much intent are you using as you do these exercises? It is work. It is your vocal workout. So we're not yelling, but you should feel the effort. How much effort on a scale of 1 to 10? We're going to move on to our counting exercise. Just like the May, Me, My, Mo, Moo, I want you to lift the numbers and project them forward, hit the target. We'll stop at the end of each row. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. did you know that people with Parkinson's even have to think about smiling? So we need to smile with intent. So as you do the counting, let's have some fun, or let's look like we're having fun. Smile while you do them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we are lifting while we're doing the counting. Let's do it one more time, but let's go backwards. Start with 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are done with the counting. Go ahead and take a sip of water. We're going to move on to the reading. Reading builds strength and endurance. So if your voice tires out, you probably need to do extra reading. And hopefully you are all working one-on-one with a certified speak out provider. Doing these home practice sessions is not enough. You need to work one-on-one with a speak out provider, and then let us help you with your home practice. Anytime you see highlighted words, this is for the families, I want you to emphasize the words. So let's all say this together. Happy Thanksgiving. You want to still lift and project your voice forward. Do it again. Happy Thanksgiving. Great. This is a picture. Look what was outside my daughter's. It was actually when she was driving her kids to daycare. Look what she saw. All right, they better watch out today. All right, read this sentence with intent and emphasize the highlighted numbers. Ready? The first Thanksgiving was celebrated in 1621. Notice how I'm emphasizing, but I'm not going louder. I'm not yelling. Let's read this one. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade began in 1924. Let's read it again with more intent. Really think about it. Here we go. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade began in 1924. Let me ask you a question and answer in your very best voice. Have you been to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? I hope you're using your best voice. Let's read this sentence together. Watching football games is a Thanksgiving tradition. Again, watching football games is a Thanksgiving tradition. Do you watch football or soccer, I guess, depending on where you're practicing with us? Answer with intent. Do you enjoy watching football on Thanksgiving Day? And who is your best team? Which team is your favorite? Are you answering in your best voice? These football players look like they're having a good Thanksgiving. All right, take a sip of water with intent. Now we're moving on to the conversation exercise. As I ask you these questions, I want you to answer with intent. Be purposeful, be deliberate, and you can take turns. So if you're practicing with a few other people, you'll each answer the question in your best voice. Name something you are thankful for. Go ahead. Next question. I want you to name your favorite Thanksgiving dish. Mine is pumpkin pie. Go ahead. I should have answered the first one. I am very thankful for all the families who are practicing with your person with Parkinson's today. Family support is so important. So thank you for being here. Last question. What can you do on Thanksgiving besides eat? Take turns answering the question and use your best voice. All right, now we need to move on. We're going to say some nonsense words. I need you to emphasize the G's, the K's, and the NG's. Those are very important for swallowing because when you say those sounds, the back of your tongue goes up and hits your palate. If the sound isn't strong, then your tongue didn't go up high enough. And when you swallow, you can't swallow without that tongue going up high enough. Say each nonsense word twice. Here we go. Gula ganga ga. Again. Gula ganga ga. And the next. Kukamanguka. Speak out. Kukamanguka. Next one. Gangla. Again. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. Very nice. Before we do our bonus reading, I would like to share with you, just real quickly, our website. What I want to point out is for all the family members, up at the top, there is a section called Learn About Parkinson's. Please visit parkinsonvoiceproject.org and go through these videos and the blog. There is so much good information for you there. It says Learn About Parkinson's at the top. There's lots there. We even offer a virtual family education group once a month. So please do that. Now, our bonus reading. And before we do the bonus reading, you have to hear the bell. Hold on. The bonus reading is a lot more challenging than just the sentences because we're not just reading one sentence at a time, but we're trying to speak with intent and read one sentence after another, just like we would in conversation. We're telling a story, we're giving directions. We don't just say one sentence. So try to use your best voice all the way through and emphasize the highlighted words. Here we go with intent. A roasted turkey is the most common Thanksgiving main dish. It is usually accompanied by sides such as mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes or yams, stuffing, and gravy. Some vegetables are green bean casserole, roasted Brussels sprouts, glazed carrots, corn pudding, and creamed spinach. A rich variety of pies such as pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie, and sweet potato pie are also served. Let's read that last sentence one more time. Do it even better than the last. Ready? We'll start with a rich variety. Here we go. A rich variety of pies such as pumpkin pie, pecan pie, apple pie, and sweet potato pie are also served. Now, normally on Thursdays, we have a live sing-along. There is no live sing-along today. However, we do have a recording for you, so you can go to our website and enjoy singing with the recording. I want to thank all of you for joining us on this Thanksgiving Day. It means so much to us that the families are practicing, and this is wonderful. I would like to ask for your help to help us help more people with Parkinson's. Did you know that there are more than 10 million people in the world with Parkinson's, and 90% will struggle with speech and swallowing? But did you also know that only about 3 to 4% of people with Parkinson's are receiving speech therapy? This is terrible. So we need your help on social media. Please follow us, like us, share the post. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We need the family's help with this. We've got to help people with Parkinson's not only regain their speech and swallowing, but help them maintain it for the rest of their lives. All right. Now, hopefully you've taken a picture, or please take a picture. Make sure you smile with intent. And if you're okay with your picture being on social media, email it to intent@parkinsonvoiceproject.org. The first 5 photos we get, we will be sending a Live with Intent surprise to your favorite person with Parkinson's. Make sure to include the phone number and email. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.